This conference will now be recorded.
So what are the assertions? Why do we need assertions? Assertions are mainly used to validate your data, to verify your expect a result with the actual value. The actual value you will get from WebDriver methods will give us actual value. You need to get from web page any actual result, and expect a result you will get from SRS document or your user story, your requirement document. Right? So these are the points. And here we have a assertions class is there. In the assertions class, we have the following methods. All are static methods. Assert equals compares the contents of actual. So this is array. Assert array equals, and it compares the actual array to expected array. If you want to compare any arrays, you can take this. Assert equals individual values you want to compare, you can take assert equals. Assert not equals, you want to verify this should not be equal. Actual value and expected value should not be equal. Then you take assert not equals. Assert true. So you are expecting it should be true. Then you can take this method. Validates that the provided value is true. Assert false also you can take. Validates that the provided value is false. Mostly we'll use these three only. Assert equals, assert true, assert false. So other things we won't use. Assert same, value, the two values reference the same object. That you can use assert same. Other assertions we won't use. So no need for that. No need to go for that. Okay, so this is all. So Junit 5. Okay, so this. So you can group the test cases with the tags. So instead of, we don't have a grouping, right, in the Junit 4, and we don't have, then we can use this grouping concept also. But let's write a simple test case. How we can write a Junit? Everybody has a Junit test cases. In that, no doubt. So let me close all these things. So I'll create a new package, right? Let me create a new package. Junit programs package I'll create. So Junit programs will create. And you right click, you can create a Junit class. Right click on the package and you go to new, and you can see there is option you'll get a Junit test case. If you are not able to see this option, just go other, okay, search for Junit. Search for Junit in the wizard wizard table and wizard window, and select the Junit test case. Click on next. And here you can see all three versions and your new Jupyter test. And here you can see which method steps would you like to create. Setup before class, tear down after class, setup, tear down. What is mean by this? So whichever you want, you can choose. Just tick that checkbox. If you don't want, you untick these checkboxes. So let me give you what is setup before class means. Setup before class is @before class or @before all. You are taking Jupyter Junit, right? Then @before all you will get annotation by default. The structure you will get. You don't need to write. Automatically the annotation, then below method structure also you will get. That's advantage. And then T down after class means @after all you will get. @after all annotation you will get. Setup means before each you will get. T down means after each you will get. So this is the all four annotations. And where is @test annotation, you can ask. By default you will get. You don't need to do separately. So that is this this, and just give a name. Just writing one simple test case. Let me show you first the test case so that you can understand. This is the one. So the internet herokuapp.com, this website we are taking. I'm going to this login page, form authentication. I need to click on form authentication so that I'll reach this page. And this is the login page. And this is where you can log into the secure area. Enter Tom Smith as the username. Super secret password is the password. So you can see first manually execute it. Okay. So then password is the password. If you give correct username password, it will log in. It will log in. Right? So you logged in and you got the error, you got the message, success message. You logged into a secure area. And you can log out again. You can log out by clicking on this logout button. Click on logout. I need to validate this messages also. Okay, you logged out of the secure area and you are coming. If you give wrong username, okay, or without giving any credentials, click on this. So what you are getting, your username is invalid. This one test case, so you can make it one valid test case. You can make different test cases. You can make it out, right? Different test cases. You can make it out. I want to reach this page. Every test case I need to reach this page. So that I'm going to put inside the @ before each. Reaching to this page every time. This I'll put in the before each, and in the before all, I'll launch my browser. That's it. I'll launch my browser and I can proceed. Before all will execute only one time, right? Before all will execute only one time. So that I'll keep it that one only. Now, so in the before each, every time, so I'll open this URL, okay, this Internet Heroku app URL, and then I'll come here and I'll click on this form authentication, and I'll go here, then do all the test cases. Every test case, so it has to do the same thing. It has to do the same thing. For valid only, it will click on the logout and do that. Okay, this is the test cases I need to automate. Valid and invalid test cases we need to write. Right, you have to write form validations also we are doing here. Okay, how to do that? That I'm doing. So I'll just put login test. Heroku app login test. Heroku app login test. Okay, click on finish. So we don't have a Junit 5 in our project. So import this. Import this. Just add Junit 5 library to your build path so that you can use all the Junit 5 features. So add that Junit 5. See that Junit 5 is added. See, automatically I got a structure. I don't need to write again annotation, that method, everything. So you're getting by default here. You're getting by default here. So even test method also you're getting by default. So anyhow, I'll write a method separately again. Okay. Now, so this is the how to create a test case. If you want your access modifiers, you can keep. This is the default methods, default classes created. So it depends on how you want to create this. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to design the test case. You understand the steps. What we need to do? I need to open the URL and then click on the form authentication link. I need to go to next page. All the steps. You note down the steps and implement step by step in the respective annotation methods. right? Okay, so for this I need two variables. I'll take, see that I have few static methods, few non-static methods. So I want to declare my WebDriver to use in all the methods. What type of variable I need to declare? So global variable. What type of global variable? Is it a non-static global variable? Will it help us? Non-static variable, will it work out in the static methods? So can I use this driver under static methods?
No, we cannot use, sir.
So what we need to do? We have to change it to static.
Static.
So static can be used in all the methods. All the methods you can use. That's why you have to make the variables as a static variable, so that driver I can use in this method and the non-static method also. So that's what we are doing. So first I'll launch here. You can change this method name also. You can change this method name. So I'll put launch browser. So launch browser code I'll write here. So write all the launch browser code. Just take all the browser code I'll take. Okay. This one. I want this code. So I'll just copy paste. And don't put again WebDriver here, right? So you need to pass this object value to this global variable. And same here, WebDriver weight also. You need to pass this object value to this global weight variable. So that's anything how to pass a object value to global variables. Just variable name you call. Just I'm calling weight variable, and here also I'm calling driver variable, so that this object value will go and set here and remove this null value, and this value will set when first, because first before all will execute, right? So the values will set here for this driver and weight, not null. After this line execution, 20 line execution after, the driver value is not going to be null. The value is Chrome driver object. And 30th line execution after, the weight value is not going to be null. So this will set WebDriver object. Now weight is the WebDriver object, WebDriver weight object. Driver is the Chrome driver object. Now those are not nulls, because first before all code will execute for us. That's a launch browser code. The next, tear down. Tear down means I want to close my browser. After all means after all the test cases, this code will execute. That means I need to close my browser. I'll just put some thread.sleep so that I'll put a finally block. Finally block, if you put, the browser definitely will close, right? All Java again we are using little bit, right? So 1 second only I'm putting, not much, right? I don't want to put this exception here. So let's see. I'll include try catch finally block. Try catch finally block. Finally, you can use close declaration, but I want here a finally block. That's why I'm using a try catch finally. So driver dot close, so that the browser, even somewhere in the middle fails also, browser won't be open. It will close automatically. That's my intention. That's why I put a try catch finally. So finally block code always executes. Remember this point. So actual Java implementation is coming here. Actual Java implementation is coming here. And so this is the after all also done implementation. Next. So before each, I'll just launch my URL, right? We launched the browser here one time only. Browser launches one time, and before each, we'll repeat for every test case. How many test cases you are creating? Let's see. I'm going to create a multiple test cases here. I'm going to create a multiple test cases here. All test case, every test case first before each will execute, then comes to next test case, then comes to next test case, then comes to next test case, like that. Then after each will, every test case after each will execute. So first before each, let's develop. So I want to open the URL. So what URL you need to open? Driver dot get. So give the URL. The URL is not the URL. The main URL, you open this. This is the one. Okay. But page title is same for all the pages. Instead of that, I'll wait. Welcome to the internet. I'll just do this. This text verification is good than verifying the page title. But I can verify page title also still. Still I can verify the page title. How can you verify the page title? Wait dot until expected conditions dot title is. Let me take a title is. So you right click, inspect, get the page title. So you have header tag and title is the internet. It's the page title. Done. Next. So I need to wait dot until, and this element, this header text, I think this header text h1, this heading, class heading. So I'm going to wait for this welcome to the internet heading. H1 dot class I will use. H1 dot CSS selector I will use. I will verify this element. Expected conditions dot presence of element located by dot CSS selector, and I'm going to give h1 dot this value. Same you can put one more. Wait for the visibility of this also. Multiple methods will write so that you can understand all the expected conditions, class conditions. Visibility of element located. So visibility of element located. One more method is there. So that's, I just strongly wait and verify this page. Next, what I need to do, form authentication. This link I need to click on this link. So this is the link. So let's take a link text. So click on form authentication link. So driver dot find element by dot link text form authentication dot click. That's it. Once you click, it will go to next page. It will go to next page, and click on this. Validate this. This page title is same. Previous page title this, but it doesn't help us, right? Now I'll validate this login page heading. So validate this login page heading. H2 login page, but this is just a text. How can we do that? So let's do assert equals. I'll do assertions also you can use, right? Here assertions also you can use. Let me use assertions here. Assertions dot assert equals assert equals. Let's look for the Jupyter assertions class. Float string. Where is the string? Let's take this, no issues. What is the page title? Previous page title. Your expected is, so that I can validate. Let me validate this. So this text I'll validate. Your expected is this one. So actual you need to get from web page. How can you get from web page? So driver dot find element. So by dot CSS selector h1 dot heading dot click method. Get text method. So that's a get text will get the text of that element, right? That's what. So this is how you can validate even text also. So this is the my expected, and this is my actual. Actual I'm getting from web page. So this assertions how we are going to use. Okay, done. Next, first I will wait dot until expected conditions. So dot presence of element located. So by dot xpath. So I'm writing xpath to validate the login page. Let's move on. Login page. Login page. Validate this login page. Say you can write a xpath for this. So many ways you can write it. Directly using a text you can write. Otherwise, I'm writing a xpath. Let's see that. I'll start from this div, right? This div ID content, then div h2 I'll write. So all you just right click. If you are not aware of that, just copy xpath. So you can check that whether it is correct or not. See that same thing. This is what I want to write. Same thing it has written. It is giving directly xpath for you. So use that. Okay. So remove this. I'll put a single quotes.
Sir, I have one doubt here.
Yeah.
Yeah, at before each, just we need to launch the browser, right? Why we need all the assertions and all the test scenarios
Before
we are
is
writing here?
before all we did that browser launching.
Yes,
This
sir.
is one time effort. You don't want to launch every time, every test case.
Yeah, this is fine, sir. In next before each.
Before it, browser you launch it, right?
Yes,
Again,
sir.
why
We
you
are
want to
hitting
launch
that
the browser?
URL.
The URL I want to launch, but how do you know
But rest of
you open this? How do you know this page is open to you? How do you
okay,
know?
just we are verifying the page
Huh?
page title.
This is validations. You're doing validation. First you are waiting, and then it will verify, and hard assertion you are doing with a text also. This will give you much clarity for you whether this page is loaded properly or not. Otherwise it will stop there only, right?
Okay.
That's why this assertions is a very important. And here also mandatory assertions. So you have to do assertions, and I'm doing assertion also, this one also. You can do assertions asserted true or assert equals, both you can do. Okay, so here I'm doing login page, right? Next this login page. Without validations, that's not a test case. If there is no validation, it's not proper test case. You have to do validation. And now, and this XPath I'll use here to get that text. This is a proper for me now. Every time, every test case before, it has to launch the URL and verify this and go to the login page. Now I'll do my whatever I want to do. So after my test case, maybe I can go back also instead of this, or I'll clear the cookies. Each test case after clear the cookies. So driver dot. So manage method dot delete all cookies. I told you this is the one you are going to use, that I'm using here. Now my first test case I'm coming now. So I reach this page, I'll give valid credential test first. So valid credential. So test valid credentials. That's the first. Second one, test empty credentials. Next, test valid email and invalid password. Like this is the combinations, right? And test invalid email and valid password. So combinations, you can take a lot of combinations, or both are invalid. So you enter like that. You can enter multiple test cases, right? Multiple test cases you can enter. Okay, and let's see this. The problem here is in the Junit, you don't have prioritization. So which one you want to execute, that is not in our control here. But based on which order it will execute is based on this alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. So alphabetical order it will execute. So that's why we need to do. I'll do. So all negative test case we can do first. And valid email. So invalid means so it will come to first I, right? Whatever it is, it will be there and then it will open and it will go. So both invalid also you can take. Like this you can create a test case. Let's create it quickly. So both valid credentials. So type the email. So take this username. ID is there. Let's take ID. So driver dot find element. So by dot ID value. First you can clear, right? You can clear. If you're taking multiple times, what I'm going to do, web element name, the username edit box. I'm identifying that element so that I can call this first clear the content dot clear method you call, then type the value dot send keys method. So you can type. So what is the value you want to type? Tom Smith. Both are valid, right? That way. So next, same you do with password. So here I can go password edit box. I'll take a name locator if name locator is there. If name locator is not there, I cannot do anything. It will take ID also. So name is there. So let's take a name. So basically I'm trying different locators. You also do the same so that you can have some idea on the locators. So password edit box, you clear first, then so send keys method. Now after that, what is the next step? Type the password. Comments is very important. So write the comments so that it will be easy for us. Click on login button. All steps are you need to follow. Then it will be very easy for us to manage button. So you see that button type submit is there. The button class and type both are there. We can use this button and write. Otherwise you just right click if you are not clear how to write. Copy XPath or copy CSS selector, whatever you want you can do. So and then that you can try it out whether you are getting or not. This is the one how you are getting, right? So the login form is there. So ID login form, and form onwards you're directly landing here. So this one you can use CSS selector. Let's use driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. Just copy paste that. Dot click. So done. This is the valid, right? Valid means you will get a success message. Okay. This is the Tom Smith. Let me give the Tom Smith. Tom Smith. Then this one you can just copy it. So here also I think we need to give, right? Tom Smith. And username. Oh, oops. Here. Okay. Now, once you give Tom Smith, what is happening? Correct username, password. You logged into a secure area. The success message you are getting. This is a success message. A flash success. So data alert and class is there. Flash success. You can take class success. So this message you need to wait. So you can take up. You can write the XPath also for this. If you want, copy CSS selector. Flash. It is taking ID. The flash. I'll take a this flash success. I'll take because so that's easy. But we are getting a flash success, right? Clearly, and then you can get this text. It's a lot of spaces are there. You logged into a secure area, so you can get this. And you have here close icon also. You can close this if you don't want. You can close this. You can do that also. First, verify this. You logged into a secure area is very important for us. That we need to get that. So, and I will once I click on that, I need to wait for this element, right? So wait dot until expected conditions dot. So presence of element located by dot xpath, already xpath. So double forward slash star square bracket at the rate class equal to the class value. This is the class value. Then I can get this element text. I'll try to get this element text. Okay, this element text, I'll try to get it. I'll store in a string. Write this, write the step. Fetch the success message string suck message equal to and driver dot find element by dot xpath to the xpath value. Copy this xpath value. So dot, so get text. So you can print success message is plus suck message. So done. But still, if you want to validate, you can validate that. So how I'm going to validate? Let's see that. Assertion class dot assert. Okay, made some mistake. Yes. Assertion assertion is not assertions. So dot assert true I'm using here. Let me use assert true. So what I'm doing is driver dot get page source. In this page source dot contains this success message or not, I'm just checking. So that it is right asserted true and I'm using so that you can get all these methods how to validate it. So this is the text. This text is there in the source code, it will be there, right? So whether it is there or not, I'm just checking. So you want to close this, you want to log out this close icon if you want, otherwise you log out. Click on log out. This log out. Maybe button secondary radius. I'll just do some XPath. Get the XPath, whether it is correct or not, you can check it. Yes. So we're getting the XPath. Copy and click on. So log out link. River dot find element by dot XPath. Let's do this validations. So this is how you need to write a proper test cases end to end. One end to end you are doing. So log in, log out, done with a valid dot click. Then also you can validate once you log out. You're getting clearly here the message. You logged out of the secure area. So you validate this message also. So again flash success only. But this is a different page, right? You have to wait and validate this. So do flash success message. You can do all this. And do ID flash messages. And this one multiple you can write. Do flash flash access also. Okay. You can use any of these CSS locators also, right? So I can use any of these CS locators and I can do that. You logged out of the secure area. I want to validate this logged out of the secure area. So let's do that. We already have this, right? Already have, but I will do the same. Or if you don't want to repeat this, what you can do, get the message. One method you can create. Log out success message I'll put. Log out success message I'll put it. So that's it. And that's the first test case. Empty credentials. You don't want to type anything. Instead of this is a repeating, right? This is a repeating. And this one, this is a repeating. What I can do, okay? So simply create a simple method, private, void, do login. So do login, string, email, string username, right? That's the username, string password. This is how you need to write a methods. So instead of this Tom Smith, what I'm going to put username. Instead of this password, what I'm going to keep EWD, so that you can call this method and you can give. See, you reduce a lot of code here. You reduce a lot of code here, and whatever after it is coming, just call this method. That's it, and pass these values. Your own values you can pass. Tom Smith and the value here, whatever it is, you can pass it. Enter Tom Smith as a username. So, and password also you give that. This is the how you can avoid duplicate code. can avoid duplicate code. Same I'm going to call here. I'll put sys out started executing the valid credentials test, so that you can understand where it is, where you are, you can get it. Let's call this empty credentials. You are not giving anything, just leave it blank. What will happen? Just test it once. Test it once. What is happening? Test it once. I'm not giving any username password. See that? What happened? Your username is invalid. This is I need to validate. Validate this. To validate this, flash error. So flash error you validate. So this is what we need to do that. So I'm going to validate that. Same flash error message, and instead of that, what I'm going to take this one, I'm going to validate. So instead of flash success, what we need to give? Flash error. That is the change. Error message. Error message. Empty credentials. Message. Done. Same. Invalid password. Valid email. So do this. See that reusable method is there, how quickly it is going to finish, right? How quickly it is going to finish. The same code will come here also. Put it as it is in all the methods, so that we can give respective thing. Test invalid password. The method name I'm giving invalid password. So that invalid password. So password I'll give some wrong one. And valid. So valid means valid email is Tom Smith. Now what will happen? Again you will get an error. Again you will get an error. And I'll do this. Okay, that also will get same, but you can see that. So we need to give, what is that? We're doing Tom Smith and invalid password. What it is? Your password is invalid. You can validate even your password is invalid text also if you want. So that you can take this also. Still you can try a lot of things, okay, and you can get these values. So why I use it contains here is there is a lot of spaces. That's you can put dot trim, you can use if you want trim method. So try all these things. The string methods you can call trim method, you can call, right? You can call trim method also if you don't want space. So like this you can do a lot of all the methods you can explore if you want string methods. Now next invalid email, just Tom Smith 123 and valid password. Just give valid password. Valid password. This one. Just copy this. So like this, you can develop multiple methods. Okay. We are done, right? So this is you can give both invalid also. So what will happen? Try combination of all this is the how you will write the test cases, right? So you don't need to test every time these combinations. Keep doing all this, and it will be. I think we are making some mistake here. Yes, the X path should be different. Error related, not success related. Right? Okay. 1, 2, 3 test case, 4 test cases we created. So let's run this now. How to run? Just right click, run as unit test. Unit test. Run as unit test. First, before all will execute, then before each, then first test case, whichever is in the order, it will execute. So done. Validates. Oh, oops, some test case failed. So where it is failed, we can see that. Empty credentials is failed. So what is the exception? You can see here. Expected true but found false. Assertion failed. So assertion error and line number also you can find out. So line number, you can see how you can debug this. Just empty credentials. This assertion is failing. You are expecting true, but it is false. So what we are getting? Empty credentials. Empty credential message. That is not there. Your username is invalid. It's not there. It is there, right? Why it is giving false? So password should contain this. Your username is invalid. Okay. Next, valid credentials. Why it failed? Oh, all are failed at asset true place. You logged into a secure area. I think we are not getting the message we are getting. You logged into secure area, correct? But it's saying it is not there. Okay, we'll do one thing. Asset equals will use. So get the text. I can validate this. Spaces are there. That's the problem. So valid credentials 79 line. This one all are failing at this space. Otherwise, we can do one thing. So that text with the contains text you can write, and is displayed element you can take that. Is displayed element you can take that. That also you can do. So all are failed with asset true in this line only. Every test case failed. If 4 test case, 4 failed. All are failing at the same step. Assertion failed. Assertion failed. Everywhere assertion failed. So what we can do, I'll write X path. For this error message, so X path I'm going to write. That text is there or not, that element is there or not, I'll check that. So is displayed method I'm going to call, right? Is displayed method you can call whether this element is present or not, right? And this element is present or not, I can check that. Let me do this. Let me take one web element. Error element. So instead of what we can do, just put this, you replace it here. In the assert true, element is displayed. I'll just check. Is displayed. So this you can do. This code you can put in all the places. Same, you can create a method also for this. We don't want to repeat this. You can create a method also. So this is the invalid. So wherever this assertion is there, I'm just removing that. Just so how to do your assert true, I'm just showing here. Other than that, nothing. Just using is displayed. So let's run it again. Go run as Java application. So each line assert true is failing. That first empty credentials is executed. So done. First, second one. Right, second one failed. Valid credentials failed. Why it failed again? We need to see why it is failing. So one failed. Valid credentials. So again, this one is accept. This message has a problem for us, right? Okay. So our one I missed to change it. That is displayed. So the unfortunate thing is here, only failed test cases you cannot execute here. That's a problem in the Junit. So in these options we have in the test engine. Only failed test case you can run. You don't need to run again all the test cases. But here you have to run entire test cases. Or you have to write ignored. Ignored you have to write. So your other test case you have to write disabled, disabled. Then those test cases won't exist. To say that because this kind of scenarios, one test case failed, that you corrected, you want to run it again, and you cannot run only one, but you have to either skip them using disabled. Then you other test case won't will execute, and only correct one will execute. Current one only will execute. So these all test cases are passed. Now green status bar. If any test case fails, entire status bar is coming red, complete red. So how can we disable particular test case? Suppose I don't want to execute this. So how can you disable this? So disabled. So import this from Jupyter Gent. So I don't want to run all this test case. For example, this also I don't want to run. See that. Now run this. Only 2 test cases I'm running. 2 test cases I'm skipping. This is how to disable temporarily. You don't want to execute. Just do that. So disabling test cases, skipping the test cases. Log out. Then just do one invalid. That's it. Over. That you can see only 2 test cases. Remaining are skipped. These 2 are skipped. These 2 only executed. 4 by 4, 2 skipped and 2 passed. Right? That's it, guys, for the day. Any queries? Please practice and write more programs with the GNU.